It is what it is. Stay safe, everybody, and enjoy Laker basketball. Kuzma on the first possession, dumps it into AD. His first touch since the final shot on the way is good. Anthony Davis and the Lakers are up 2-0.
And I've said it many times before, at least make it look hard. He does that. He makes it look so easy when he's out there.
Had a 50-point game last year, had an unreal playoff season. Of course, his game is ever expanding. Ayton baseline, and he knocks it down to tie it at 2 apiece.
Now, they need DeAndre Ayton to stay healthy because they really don't have a quality backup yet for him, so they need him to play some minutes.
Ayton is 6'11", the 22-year-old. AD looking for LeBron, who will turn another year older. He'll be 36 the end of the month. His fadeaway is off. Gasol gets a hand on it. Going to be taken by Ayton, and here comes CP3. All the interviews, Devin Booker's been referring to him as a point god, not a guard. And from the outside, it's drilled by Jay Crowder.
Well, Jay Crowder is a deceptive three-point shooter, so don't let that one shot surprise you. And he also plays real good defense.
Trying to get it under LeBron. That's knocked out of bounds. And there's Frank Vogel. Frank Vogel, the head coach, the championship head coach. Second year with the Lakers, 10th year overall. Just wants to get AD and LBJ in rhythm. And here's the 49-year-old Monty Williams. They definitely have star power. And all of a sudden, Stu, they've got some quality depth. Gasol from 14 feet hits the heel, comes off. Rebound taken by 8.
They upgraded, obviously, with their roster, especially with the addition of Chris Paul. But they also, I think, really upgraded on the bench. I'm really a big Monty Williams fan.
Devin Booker, who himself has a 70-point game to his credit, misses the jumper. Now it's LeBron. First action this year. LeBron did not want to get hurt in that regard, so he's going to let the ball go all the way back. And Schroeder with 8 to shoot. Dennis, one of the newest Lakers, down the middle he goes, drive, kick. LeBron, who shot the most threes of his career last season, the runner is off the rim. Good rebound by Kuzma, but he can't finish it.
Well, real nice rebound, but then just missed the gimme.
There's Booker, gets doubled up. He's going to wander into the key, trying to work Kuzma. Little fall away is good. Rattles in. That's Devin Booker. All-star last year, became the first Phoenix son to be an all-star since Steve Nash, Stu, back in 2012.
Yeah, he's quite a talent, boy.
AD going to let fly. Well, he really expanded his range last year, didn't he, Anthony Davis?
Well, I mean, he had that range, but he just didn't do it as often. Now, with the way the game is played, he can do it whenever he wants.
Lakers 2-0 in the preseason, 0-2 Phoenix. Corner, Kuzma, yes sir! Kuz hits it, and the Lakers are down 7-5. Kuz has had a couple of nice games, kind of overshadowed by all the hype around THT.
Yeah, exactly. But that's when the Lakers really played their best, when they're either in transition or early offense.
Ayton away from Kuzma.
But did he push to get away?
Yes, he did. Going to be a foul. We're 3 minutes into the game. DeAndre Ayton played his college ball at Arizona, played 1 year, just down the road from Phoenix.
One of the things we used to try to teach the bigs is you can do the same kind of pushing with your hips and your legs. Just get your hands up. Most players want to use their hands to free themselves quite a bit.
Lakers beat the Clippers the other night, 131-106. That's a logo ball. Look at how far that logo extends for the Phoenix Suns, so we can call it that for LeBron.
Should have backed up another step because he shot it too long.
Chris Paul left wide open over Gasol. Mark has the rebound. Mark had 5 assists the other night and really ran things from the high post. Schroeder, corner, Kuzma, hook pass. LeBron tried to gun it into AD. LBJ slam it home softly for Anthony Davis.
Well, when LeBron's going downhill, that's the kind of results you generally will get. Defenses really try to level him off as best they can.
LeBron led the league in assists for the first time last year. Lakers trying to tie up Bridges. Out it goes Crowder looking for his second, and it's nothing but net from downtown.
You must make Jay Crowder put it on the deck before he shoots. If he catches it and shoots it, he's really a decent shooter.
Gasol. That one gets
Bad
thrown
angle.
away. Yeah, and Anthony Davis and the little miscommunication. Crowder, no whistle. They play on, and Ayton picks up the garbage and lays it up and lays it in, and we've got a timeout.
Yeah. This is a scenario you can see Marc Gasol and Anthony Davis both talking to each other there. Anthony was expecting an up pass. He tried the bounce pass. That's something they'll work out as they play more and more together. Early on, the Suns by 5.
so ago. And there is LeBron, the 4-time champion, the 4-time finals MVP, the former rookie of the year, the 16-time all-star. On and on it goes. What a career. And it's not even close to slowing down yet. And our first look at him this preseason. Again, we expect first half only, though.
That's what surprises me. It's amazing how the way his game is structured, attacking all the time, that he can stay at this level for so long.
That's good ball movement by the Lakers, and Gasol misses the easy layup. And he didn't hit the rim, or did it hit the rim? I think the Lakers thought it did, and that's what they're going to argue. And if so, they should have the ball out of bounds.
I hope it hit the rim because he had an uncontested layup.
Right there.
Hopefully he didn't shoot from one side to the other, and they're saying that it was a complete miss.
Oh, no, it changed direction.
It looked like it changed the rotation of the ball a bit there, but we're never right on the replay, so.
And we're not even in Phoenix, so we couldn't tell you there anyway. It was a great ball movement, though, by the Lakers. They lob it in, surrounded by a trio of Lakers. Throw it out to Chris Paul. Looks like a possible turnover. Behind the back, what a feed. And Ayton throws it down.
That's where the Lakers are going to have to make sure their defense is on point this season. Is keeping people out of the paint as much as possible, because they don't have that same rim protection.
Chris Paul, 7th all-time in assists, 7th all-time in steals. The trailer is Ayton. Count it. Foul on the dish from Booker.
Early offense for the Suns, and Devin Booker gets it as we get another look at Chris Paul with the left hand behind the back pass, and a little easy flush for Ayton. Then in transition, Devin Booker says, "I'll reward you, big fella. Run the floor, get the three-point play."
Well, I'll tell you this, so far DeAndre Ayton looks active, and it's a 9-0 Phoenix run. Again, they're 0-2 in this preseason. These teams will meet up once in the first half of the season on March 2nd at Staples Center. Back and forth goes AD, leaves it for LeBron. Little step back from 18, in and out, heartbreak, and Chris Paul has the rebound, one of LeBron's good buddies. Paul stops on a dime. We'll get it right back in the two-man game from Crowder. We're nearing the halfway mark of the first quarter. It's been pretty much all Suns. That's a tough shot by Booker, but it's nothing but net.
When you have his talent, there's no tough shots.
Devin Booker from Kentucky, one of the many Wildcats in the league. It's his 6th year already, Stu. Devin Booker, but just 24 years of age. Down the middle goes LeBron, hangs in the air. He falls down, but he'll shoot free throws.
Yeah, Bridges that time gave up the middle, and there was no help, and ends up fouling LeBron. So LeBron will be the recipient of the Lakers' first free throws of the game, and they need a lot of those. They're down by 13 early.
And it's a 13-0 run. Mikal Bridges, solid defender, and he'll be on the opposition's best player throughout the course of the year. You would bet he can guard multiple positions.
Well, it depends on who the other power forward is, because you got to remember they still have Jay Crowder, who's an excellent defender too, but he has to guard Anthony Davis tonight.
And the thing about Mikal is he can guard pretty much anybody on the floor, and that's what they like so much about his versatility. Marc Gasol will sit.
LeBron misses the first of two.
20-7 halfway through the quarter. As you can see, no fans at what is now known as the Phoenix Suns Arena. Chris Paul will bring it across. He got Montrez into the game. Montrez Harrell comes in quickly here. Bounce it to Ayton. Taken away by the Lakers. That was at his feet. Turnover. Now here comes Schroeder. Two-man pass. Back to Dennis. Not great. Going to get to Kuzma. In rhythm. One dribble. Got it. Knock it down. Yes, sir, for three.
Well, a little unselfish there. After Schroeder gave the ball to Anthony Davis, Anthony really had a layup, and he passed it back.
Kuz averaging 21.5 during the first two preseason games. That's his 7th three so far in the exhibition slate. Bridges from the outside, going to hit the heel, and it's chased down by AD. A 27-year-old, 10th in scoring last year. LeBron quickly, corner. Kuzma, did he travel? He did. Turn it over.
Boy, tried to get the player to run by as we get another look at that last play with our Carl's Cam. As Schroeder gives it to AD, gets it back. And AD had the layup, but it ends up in a three-point basket by Kuz.
So the Lakers on the floor, the top two vote getters for 6th man of the year last season. Number 1 was Harrell. Number 2, Schroeder. Loose basketball again, going to find the hands of Booker. He made one from there a second ago. Got to get the bounce, and he nearly did.
He almost got the third bounce.
LeBron, strong underneath, but loses his footing. And down goes LBJ. Second time he's gone to the floor already. Chris Paul trying to get the whistle and a shooting foul from the outside.
Yeah, Montrezl Harrell noticed the mismatch, and they had a man advantage, so he takes the intentional foul.
See Wes Matthews coming in for the Lakers, and LeBron will go out. You can tell he's a little winded already. Crowder and Bridges out. Also in Jalen Smith, their #1 pick. Phoenix's #1 pick, 10th overall, the 20-year-old out of Maryland. He wears number 10. He's on the floor. So is Javon Carter. Actually, Jalen Smith wears number 10. Javon Carter wears number 4. And the quizzical look from Montrez.
Yeah, trying to figure out if it was foul was on him or was it on Wesley Matthews as Devin Booker ventured into the paint and got fouled.
Well, you might recall that this Phoenix team was unbeatable, literally, in the bubble last year.
Yeah, they went 8-0.
8-0, and were this close to getting into the playoff game, but they just came up short. Nobody thought they had any kind of an opportunity. And that sort of set the tone for Chris Paul to come over and Jay Crowder. And they're all in. It's just I mean, they were in disarray. This franchise was a disaster about a year or two ago, and they've completely turned things around.
They've stabilized their team, that's for sure. Whether they stabilize as the entire organization is another story, but the team is stabilized with the head coach and now bringing in Chris Paul and Jay Crowder. They picked up some veterans that are all about winning.
There's Damian Jones, the original draft pick of Golden State, 6'11" from Vanderbilt. And what'd you tell me before the game, Stu?
You mean the way he just jumps out the building?
Exactly.
When he learns the little nuances of the game with that kind of athletic ability, it'd be okay. It's a foul on Smith there.
There's Jalen, all Big Ten first team, all defensive. He was a Karl Malone Power Forward of the Year award finalist last year at Maryland. Through a couple of games this year, 6.5 points, 5 boards, averaging 21 minutes. Here's the Lakers' best free throw shooter last year, Anthony Davis.
It's saying something, too, when you got almost a 7-footer leading your team in free throw percentage. The guards all should be embarrassed.
Signed that 5-year deal, about $190 million. Was second Defensive Player of the Year, balloting to Giannis, who signed that Supermax in Milwaukee, so he's not going anywhere. On the attack, Phoenix. They haven't made the playoffs since 2010. And the lob and the throwdown on the alley-oop and the finish by Damian Jones, and we were just talking about it.
I mean, anything up in the atmosphere like that, he's going to be the one to get to it as Book just throws it up and Damian Jones just throws it down. Anthony Davis about a second late on his rotation.
Up where the air is clear, up in the atmosphere, Damian Jones. All damage at the rim, though. Last year, when he was with Atlanta, 87% of his shots were at the rim. 85 of them dunks.
Well, again, that just goes to emphasize the point we made earlier, the fact that he's a high fly but really hasn't, developed the basketball skills. I mean, because jumping is not a basketball skill. It's just an athletic skill. It's not a basketball skill, whether you're dribbling, shooting, and things of that nature.
10-point game and right back to the line, Anthony Davis. Now, the Lakers shot lights out the other night, and we really mean that. Lights out. They shot 56% overall, 72% from the three-point line, made 18 out of 25. So bit of a slower start tonight, to say the least. They're 4 for their first 13 from the floor.
Yeah, but their big gun isn't in the game. Taylor Horton-Tucker.
Yeah, THT. We're yet to see him.
A rare trip to the line where Anthony Davis missed both of them.
And I know a lot of people tuning in just to see THT. Taken away by Montrez. 2-on-1. Trez all the way. Leaves it off for Kuz. Kind of it goes. It doesn't go. And Kuzma will go to the line and shoot 2.
Yeah, Kuz upset at himself. He knows that's another one that he should been able to put down as the Suns that time, an errant pass. Jones wasn't even expecting it. He ran right by it, and that's why Ayton was able to just scoop it up and go the distance.
So the Lakers have already attempted 6 free throws here in the first quarter. Kuz last year, points per game dropped from 18.5 down to just below 13. He had just 9 starts on the season. Playoffs, he averaged 10 points. He's in his 4th year here with the Lakers.
He's the oldest Laker.
Yeah, he's
pretty close.
Longest tenured.
Longest tenured Laker.
KCP right along with him, I think. And here is Booker, knocked from behind, and a foul on Wesley Matthews.
Well, Booker did a good job coming around the screen and keeping Wesley Matthews on his backside, not allowing Wesley to get into any kind of defensive positioning. And finally, with the momentum, Wesley runs up his back, commits the foul, Book to shoot a pair.
Phoenix last year finished 34 and 39. Again, they nearly made the playoffs, 13-14. Remember, that was a Dragic, Bledsoe-led team. They won 48 games that year and did not make the playoffs. And then they've fallen on hard times, but they're ready to make and take a huge leap this year. By the way, Friday, these two teams again. We'll have it for you at 7:30, and that'll end the preseason. Schroeder from behind the board. Truz was there, but he couldn't finish it. Lakers down by 10, 3.5 to go. The speed of Booker. All the way blocked by Harrell, out of bounds.
How often do you see that secondary defender, not the primary guy, but the guy that nobody sees? When I say nobody, Booker didn't see him, and Montrez with the block maybe should have touched it a little softer, knocked it straight down, and give his team a chance to retrieve it.
Last year, anchored by McGee and Howard, Lakers led the NBA in block shots. Certainly haven't seen that yet this year with this group. It's a much different sort of defensive team this season, but they're still going to hang their hat on the defensive end. Shot on its way from 18. That's off target. That's Langston Galloway. Boy, he's bounced around the league, hasn't he? Air ball taken away now by the Lakers. Rebound to Anthony Davis. AD with the handle. He loses it. There's definite rust on the two stars. It's going to be a foul.
Offensive foul.
And taking the charge is Wes Matthews.
Now, there's one of those plays where you talk about guys just getting themselves under control. Wesley Matthews in good position to draw the charge. 2:58 to go in the first. Lakers down by 10. Long for a couple of reasons. It takes a good amount of luck to stay healthy that long, but more importantly, because of the salaries they're paid now, financially they don't have to play that long.
THT, Taylor Horton Tucker, is in the game to join this group. Underneath, it's Wes Matthews. Pump fake once, twice,
seconds.
Third time, and he's finally fouled.
Oh, boy.
He was in that key a long time, wasn't he?
He was in that key an awful long time.
Set up a little camp.
Working on Eton Moore. He posted up and gets in there, and he's in the lane, in the lane, in the lane. As soon as an offensive player gets into the act of shooting, though, the 3-second count stops.
Eton Moore, that's kind of an under the radar pickup that we both like a little bit for Phoenix.
He's a guy that can, come in off your bench and really produce some points for you.
10th year. Wes. Of course, we mentioned it before. Father won 2 championships, 85 and 87, as a member of the Lakers. And now he gets to wear the purple and gold, and those gold jerseys are shining tonight. Look how bright they are, and we love seeing it. Underneath, blocked by THT, and that 7'1" wingspan.
And that's what got that block that time, because he was really out of position, but utilized that length.
Gonna repost to Kuz. 2:13 to go in the quarter. Backing up, fall away. Kuzma looks for the bounce, and he gets it. Kyle Kuzma. And he's now with 10 points in 10 minutes, and he's the first on either team in double figures.
And
Turnover.
there's the dribble handoff by Eton Moore, which turns into an illegal screen. As we get another look at Taylor blocking the shot. Did a great job of getting contact with the ball and not the body.
Mike, you've got more on Kyle Kuzma.
Yeah, by the way, not taking THT too long to make his presence felt. But so Kuz is in a really interesting spot this year, Bill and Stu. Danny Green leaves, and so they may need some additional play from a big wing. Kuz did play the 3 in certain spots last year and play well. You know, he's off to a really good shooting start to this preseason. That's part of it, right? Getting his 3-point percentage up from, as Harrell takes a shot, up from around 32% where it was last year. He thinks he's a much better shooter than that. The stroke looks pretty good, but there are some minutes to be had perhaps on the wing this year, the way this roster is laid out.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Kuz is utilized and how he responds again to making adjustments.
Those minutes are going to be doled out by who plays the best. Nothing is promised, as Frank Vogel has said. A whistle, that's before the shot. Don't count it. So the Lakers crawling back 25-19. We're in the first quarter.
And you see Smith gets called for the violation there as he moved that left foot, which was his pivot foot. That's a violation.
He is working on Markeith, who was in there with Quinn Cook, Trez, THT, and Wesley Matthews, the 5 on the floor. Horton Tucker been shooting it great, getting to the basket with regularity. Fall away jump shot, got to get a bounce, does not. Trez doing work inside, and they'll get it again. Horton Tucker passes it up. Markeith from the outside. And the Lakers are now 2 for 4 from beyond the arc. Defensive rebound to Morris. Now Quinn Cook on the attack in the attacking 47 for the Lakers. Wanders in, lobs for Trez, and he scores on the lob from Quinn Cook.
Well, Quinn Cook and Trez are starting to develop a little bit of a chemistry on that screen and roll.
And Trez was as good as it gets last year in screen roll when he worked with Lou Williams on the Clippers. Half a minute to play in the quarter. So good little resiliency here by the Lakers as they battled back. None of the starters are on the floor for Los Angeles. Keefe throws it away. They battle for it, and Phoenix, good hustle.
They should work for the last shot.
That was Langston Galloway stealing it away, and they will work for the last shot. Etwan Moore will quarterback it. Out to challenge is Wes Matthews with 1 at the buzzer. Moore can't score, and that's the end of the quarter.
The Lakers
come over to him. He just looked it right to him. Easy pass.
And that's just 2 veterans just playing some easy 2-man game right there between Matthews and Montrezl Harrell as we get a stop and play, a defensive 3-second violation charged against the Lakers.
You read it quickly. You see Jones coming over to help. You just know he's got to throw it up to the rim. That's the part that, when you're watching the game, you got to understand that these guys are so smart that they see the help and they know where the open man is. Why? They practice these plays every day consistently in practice. And so if you're not where you're supposed to be, you'll hear about it in film session.
Well, this is one of the points that Andy and I were talking about on Monday night, and Jay Crowder just reinforced it coming into the locker room after the game, where he told Monty Williams, he said, look, coach, we just don't trust our teammates yet. Defensively, he's speaking up. As Carter, with his shot clock winding down, able to stick the mid-range.
Well, this is when you have to start the trust in preseason. This game doesn't count. So if you're going to make a mistake, make it now by just trusting that your teammate's going to be there.
Yeah, he just said we need more reps. We need to practice with the same level of intensity that we need to play with. As the Suns force another turnover here.
But you're right. I mean, the great defensive teams, they trust that they're going to be covered on the back end. And that's where DeAndre Ayton is going to come in for this ball club. These perimeter players for the Suns are very good at putting pressure on the ball, but they have to know that he is going to be there to cover for them when they do.
Carter's shot too strong there.
And that's what Montrezl Harrell does. He sprints right to the block because he's hoping that he'll get a mismatch in transition. He's fast enough to get out on the break, which a lot of times the guards are back there protecting. So they have to really go and guard him. And that just forces really the Suns in a tough position when that happens. So you got to really talk, if you're Damian Jones out there, just to make sure that you're the one that gets back with Montrezl Harrell, because if he catches it in the paint, he is a load to deal with.
Yeah, and what a luxury for the Lakers. Certainly Dwight Howard, once he settled in, he played his role perfectly, earned a championship. thought about coming back to LA, but instead took his services to Philadelphia, and then they trade JaVale McGee, but a different type player in Montrezl Harrell than what we saw with Howard and McGee, as Harrell right on cue able to knock down the little 18-footer.
Both happy for Dwight Howard in that, you know, he seemed to have changed his career around. He's definitely a first ballot Hall of Famer regardless. But I just thought last year for this team, he exuded a lot of leadership, a lot of patience. It was times that he'd run the floor and be wide open. They wouldn't even throw him the ball. And he didn't sulk about it at all. And that's just a message for any young player to watch. It's all about winning. And so he epitomized that last year, which is, you know, if you reflect back 4 or 5 years ago,
right,
you would have never thought that would be the case.
Well, in his previous run with the Lakers, that was not the case. So the fact that he got a do-over as Bridges at the line.
Montrezl Harrell said, look, I didn't get a chance to play you all in the playoffs, but you know what, I'm going to join you. That didn't go over well.
No. Yeah, he was the most outspoken Clipper about the way things were handled in the start treatment. Booker slips a pass inside to DA. And Morris finally out wrestles him.
Harrell got hit down there.
And there you see the size and the strength of Horton Tucker as he got right inside to the rim, draws the contact, and will look for the and one.
Harrell, he's looking for something out there. He got popped.
That will be the third personal foul on Devin Booker.
Yeah, it's one thing about them big guys, and historically, big guys have all been the same, right? The worst I've ever had to deal with was Bill Cartwright, who really never meant to hurt anybody, but Bill's elbows, man, I'm telling you, you know, when they get off balance, they just become a little spastic and they just start flailing. So I've had to rank the most vicious elbows. I would put Bill Cartwright up there, and I'll have my boy Kevin Willis up there as well. At least Kevin started to wear elbow pads. He knew he would hit you.
Paul slips a pass outside to Book, sidesteps, open up some space for the three, but comes up short. Here is Kuzma. It's a touch.
Yeah, they're spoon feeding him. He obviously up and down all last year. I thought the moment was too big for him, even though he thought he was ready for it. And he seems to be more settled since he's come back.
Crowder with a catch and shoot three, and he'll look to make it a 4-point play.
He's so good at this, and Suns fans understand you're going to see this happen a lot for Jay Crowder. Again, he likes to stay out there, and he's going to take a ton of threes, but he has become very good at allowing that leg to kind of flare out a little bit, not drastically what they would call a charge on him. He just knows how to get that contact and knock down shots. So envision Jay Crowder having a lot of 4-point opportunities this season.
He's a guy that's been to the playoffs 7 straight years. He talked openly about Devin Booker and the respect that he's got for Book, and says Booker is ready for pressure basketball, playoff basketball, and that he wants to help him get there. And this guy certainly ready to see his minutes extended as Horton Tucker on the drive inside gets the finish. Hall off the elbow. Timeout Lakers. Suns move back in front by 2, 34-32.
There's the young fella with the tough layup inside, and he's on the horizon.
1 week from tonight, EJ.
That's when they count.
Ron James back on the floor. Booker playing with 3 fouls, but he's right up on James. James with a step back in the paint, able to knock it down. Gets his first field goal of the night. Bridges off the Ayton screen, but they'll call the foul on Ayton.
Well, the Lakers defensively kept them in the game. Suns looked like they were going to run away with it, and gives that guy an opportunity to step out and start to knock some shots down.
Swings it outside to Gasol, and Gasol, an effective three-point shooter.
Yeah, he pick and popped and floated the three. You don't get too many big guys do that, but he loves to do it.
Crowder can't connect on that triple attempt. Yeah, Gasol mostly career lows last season, except his three-point field goal percentage, where he took a massive jump. And James on that baseline turnaround connects.
You just try to wonder, when is he going to look old? I mean, it's just not there. Everybody can have trainers, and it's been known how much he spends on his body, but hey, some guys you can spend triple that on their body and it's still not going to work. So it's not just that. He's just a freak of nature.
Yeah. Nice pass inside. Booker finds the cutting Crowder. And James investing $1 million+ each year on keeping his body and mind right as Schroeder gets right to the rim. Bridges scoop pass to Ayton, but too deep with Gasol on top of him.
No, I think he needs to shoot that. You don't pass that up. Anytime he catches the ball with a foot in the paint, he's got to shoot it.
It'll break down communication there between Booker and Paul. Suns throw it away.
Again, this is his go-to move, especially when he's fatigued. He'll go to that shot there. And all great players have that move when they know they're a little fatigued and they don't have all their energy. That's like that. That's like on the golf course where you got the emergency driver where you know you can hit it in the fairway, and then you got the one where you really feel good and you'll let it go and loosen up. Well, it's definitely basketball players have that go-to shot. And that's definitely his shot.
Finished first in assists last year, career high, second in triple doubles. And we're going to get an offensive foul called on James there as Bridges was able to cut off his path to the basket as he tried to cut on the baseline.
This is good for Mikal Bridges. I mean, every chance he gets to match up and have to guard LeBron and go against him, it just helps his confidence raise up. He's just got to get a little bit more aggressive offensively and try to score on him.
Paul on the drive, got hung up in the air. Davis on the save, finding Matthews. Little fast break basketball. The Suns getting back defensively. James got there first, though.
Well, it's a turnover, and then just good hustle there from Anthony Davis over there on the sideline. And that's how you operate against a 3-on-1. You can move the ball back and forth. You get that defender thinking, get them off balance. And the Suns a little slow getting back in transition. LeBron shouldn't have had that easier look after the miss.
Foul number 4 on Booker, so we won't see him until third quarter, I would imagine.
You never know. I mean, it's preseason. Monty might put it in another minute. So this is the time, right, where you condition the player on how to navigate with fouls, right? So what a better situation for Devin Booker to be out there and see if he can navigate 4 fouls. And I'm sorry, if he can't do it, then Monty will remember that during the course of the season when it happens again. He'll say, no, you remember that preseason game? You couldn't do it? No.
Right. Lakers with an 8-point lead in the midst of a 12-2 scoring run. James makes it a 14-2 scoring run.
That's a tough shot, though. He makes it look easy because of his size, but that is a difficult shot.
Paul able to get past Schroeder, but met at the rim by Davis for the block. Matthews runs the floor, and Davis got a hand on it, tried to save, and out of bounds, LA. 4 minutes left here in the first half. Lakers by 10 with a timeout.
Well, again, Anthony Davis, who I think might be Defensive Player of the Year this season, starts to break the other way. And Suns talking about not just defense, but offense as well, not as fluid as it was early in the game.
And Kevin Knox and Emmanuel Quigley were finishing out that game.
That's great news if you're the New York Knicks. Tom Thibodeau got these young guys playing hard and have them playing defense. Great Kevin Knox sighting, too.
More updates from around this 4-game night, and we'll recap the first half with LeBron and company at the break. Let's go back to Kevin Ray and Eddie Johnson.
You know, and I think the other thing we're seeing here tonight, EJ, and we talked about it briefly in Salt Lake City, and that is, look, this is a Phoenix team with the additions, and the talk and the hype around the league about this team and this potential. Well, other teams have taken notice, and they are going to get teams, as we saw in Salt Lake City, and I think we're seeing it here tonight, especially with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Just a reminder that talk is one thing. You have to go out and do it.
You have to go out and do it, and when you are elevated to the situation that the Suns are in right now, all of a sudden expectation falls on your shoulder, and you have to handle the pressure of it all. You know, when you can just skate through a season and no one knows about you, and you can make a run as the Suns did in the bubble, that's different. But now teams are saying that this could be a top 4 seed. This team could be a problem come playoff time. All those things, yes, strike fear in the top teams, and they're going to come ready to play.
Crowder on the catch and shoot 3, spins out. Ayton over the back foul call, and for Ayton, that will be his 3rd personal foul. And I thought it was interesting in some of the comments from Jay Crowder when they were asking him what he can bring to this team, and it was the comments regarding that, and says one of the things that I'll do is I'll be that voice to remind our team, you can't listen to the media, you can't read what is being written about us. You have to put in the work every day, every game. That's the only way that success will come.
Yeah, I mean, if everybody's saying you look good, you better put some makeup on. That's how I look at it. You know, you got to come ready to play. I mean, you got to live up to the standard that everyone is saying that you are. And if you don't, they're going to be very critical of you. They're going to say, you don't look as good as everybody say you do. And I think the young Suns are going to find that out early. They're going to find out that teams are going to go at them as if they were like a top 4 seed last year. And that's a mountain that I think Chris Paul will help them get over. Devin Booker can always save the day with this young team, but these other guys have to step up when it calls for it, and they're going to be asked to do a lot of that this season.
Carter with a much-needed 3-pointer to drop the Suns just 5 of 18. As James muscles his way into the chest of Damian Jones with a foul call.
Good movement right there, and Carter comes off. And again, when Carter comes off and just focuses on shooting the ball and not worried about who else could be open or who he's on the floor with, he makes shots. And he has to be aggressive like that.
Yeah, Javon shot 55% from deep in the bubble, 46% over the last 20 games, and really worked on his 3-point shooting after an early stretch of struggle. Shot 33% in 2019 with Memphis, and then improved that to 42% coming over with the Suns. But I thought the other interesting comment in our visit with James Jones yesterday was, he said, you know, you can look at our success in the bubble at 8-0. He said, but that success came because of the equity that we had built up, our team had built up with one another.
Yep.
And that's what this team is going to have to try and do.
Totally agree.
Carter's able to slip inside, keep it alive. The Lakers have definitely turned up the team defense here in the second quarter.
Well, again, they were the best team in the league last year defensively. And so, you know, you knew once they got behind by a bunch, they were going to make a run at him.
Bridges thought he was clipped there by LeBron James. Won't get the foul call. Leads to the easy cherry-picking lay-in for Anthony Davis. As they have pushed the lead to 14 now. 27-point swing.
Look, I mean, you look at it, the Lakers have Gasol, LeBron, and AD on the court. That's basically 3, 6, 10 guys out there and with quick feet to move laterally. Even Gasol at his age is still very good defensively.
And what he lacks athletically and physically, he makes up for with just his knowledge of the game and the angles. Says Suns turn it over again.
But a beautiful part about the schedule this season, especially, is that the Suns will get the Lakers again in another day or so. And so because of that, you watch film and you learn. And why not learn at a high level against a defending champion? So
right.
Monty's going to take a halftime look at everything. He's going to break it down for these guys and just get them to understand that this is all an education that is free right now, because you don't get a negative on your schedule going against the Lakers. A lot of teams would love to be playing the Lakers in the preseason. They would love to be playing top teams during the preseason.
See how you measure up.
To see how you measure up and to really teach lessons, and knowing if you can execute against them, then you can execute against anyone.
These two teams, as EJ noted, will play again Friday night, but then they will not see one another until the final game of the first half of the NBA schedule. That will take place on March the 2nd in LA. And we've got two different calls.
Leon Wood had one call.
I think the 24-year-old veteran, or 24th-year veteran, Leon Wood, is talking to Simone Jelks.
I always get a chuckle when I see Leon Wood, who's a friend, and he's a teammate of mine in Kansas City. And the guy actually slept in the gym. I don't know if he had an apartment or what. He was always in the gym. I was like, do you ever go home?
Truly living in the gym.
Yeah, he had a book bag, man. I was wondering what's in the book bag. It must have been his toothbrush and toothpaste. And always in the gym.
That's all you need at that age, right? Place to hoop and, good hygiene. Good to go. Another quick foul here with 54 seconds left here in the first half. That'll put Javon Carter at the line. Javon with 5 points. His first free throws coming up. The Suns just 8 free throw attempts. Lakers have been to the line 20 times. That was the other thing that stood out there, especially on Monday night. The Suns just did not get to the line with the kind of frequency that we became accustomed to seeing them last season and getting.
Yeah, I think Chris Paul, obviously, he didn't get a chance to do it in Houston, but he did it last year in Oklahoma City, and that's why they were so competitive. Is he'll balance that. Trust me, he'll realize that shots aren't going, and he'll start to get aggressive from mid-range, get the ball to Devin, try to get DeAndre in pick and roll, to just get the high percentage shot to stem the tide, stay in the game, and until everyone else can get their rhythm.
Backdoor cut by Davis. Jones, nice recovery, forcing the miss. And the Suns come away with a loose ball rebound. See if they look for the 2-for-1. Galloway to Bridges, gets inside, raked across the face it looked like. No foul call. 6 on the shot clock. And Bridges continues to stay with it. Out to Galloway, open for the triple, and gets the shooter's touch.
Winston Galloway, he's so used to hitting all net. He's had to hit the rim a few times in this game, getting used to these rims here in Phoenix.
Galloway's first field goal. James watching the clock. Step back triple to close out the first half. Lakers with a big second quarter, outscoring the Suns 32-19. Challenge, particularly and most recently that of the bubble. And when you look at the makeup of the players that he has this season, most of these players are built that way. As Bridges steps into the travel, that will be Another turnover for the Suns, their 12th of the game.
Yeah, it looks like Anthony Davis and LeBron is probably going to get the rest of the night off. I can't see them bringing them off the bench here in the second half. So,
yeah, that was essentially the reports coming out of LA, is that the two stars would play only one half, their first action of the preseason. So Davis getting 18 minutes, and Suns misfire on another one. James with 15 minutes had 11 points. Morris back on the Lakers, signing a one-year deal. Fires it across to Kuzma. Kuzma with a dozen, leading the Lakers scoring. Averaging 21.5 through the first two games. Book inside.
He's got to go up with power. Like when you have the strength DeAndre Ayton has, you got to punish guys, even when you're on offense. I mean, there's some videos of Shaquille O'Neal when he would catch it in the paint. He would punish you, and if you fouled him, you were going to hurt more than him. You can go to Karl Malone, you can go to Moses Malone, you can, you know, I think even Joel Embiid, a guy that he can look at right now, he punishes you when he gets in the paint. And DeAndre's got to get to that point and just don't settle for the fact that they might foul you.
Yeah, and in that situation, you're going up against Markieff Morris, who is 6'8", not as though Markieff is a big leaper. I think those are the marks, I'm sure, coming from Chris Paul and Devin Booker to Ayton. Prior to the free throws, as Schroeder misfires, but Gasol keeps it alive. Suns trying to cut back into this lead. Booker on the drive, lost the handle.
You know, speaking a little bit more about that with DeAndre Ayton, the great Maurice Lucas, who passed away a few years ago, and miss him dearly. He was an ex-Phoenix Sun. Obviously made his name up in Portland as well. He told me one day, he said, I go into a game and I hit a guy. And if that guy comes back the first time, I'm like, okay. But if I hit him again and he comes back at me the second time, then he knows he's in for a long night. And I think DeAndre has to take that same mindset. You know, punish guys in the paint when they're down in his territory.
Gasol missing another bunny, the third one that he's missed point blank tonight. Paul feeds it into the corner, sets up Bridges for the open three-point look, but
you get old, you just don't want to jump anymore. It's like this effort to jump. I mean, I heard an interview today with Andrew Bogut. He was talking about, you know, how his body was just letting him down and he had to give it up. You know, he's in the training room longer than he was on the court. And Gasol has had to deal with that, but he's still good enough to do this, and he's good enough to defend.
Yeah, it's a combination of don't want to and can't, as Booker gets right to the rim on top of Gasol, who stretches out and will commit the foul. And Booker with a few words to Gasol. Jay Crowder coming over to.
Second team foul. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, Devin got it. Yeah, they're going to probably take a look at that one. They should.
I can't imagine that they wouldn't, as there wasn't a whole lot of difference between that and what we saw with Azubuike the other night and Abdel Nader, but
well, again, it continues to talk about where Gasol is as a player. He can't elevate, but he has long arms.
Right.
So he takes the shortcut now and tries to extend his arms over the top of the head of a player. Well, in Devin's case, he's explosive. He's young. So he's going to jump, and he's going to go right into the pathway of that long arm that Marc Gasol is putting out there. And so the most dangerous guys, I think, in the league history are the ones that's like, they can't run anymore, they can't move anymore. So in order to stay relevant, what are they going to do? They're going to grab you. They're going to grab you and they're going to hit you. I mean, that's just exactly what's going to happen.
Paul forcing the turnover. Forces the ball boy to get off the floor quickly as he had stepped in there to do a little cleanup. Nice reaction time. Schroeder off the elbow over Ayton. Booker coming right back. And well, you know what the intent of Devin Booker is in this third quarter. Picked up 4 fouls there.
Yeah, I know Chris Paul probably tells him, calm down, young man. I mean, you know, it's preseason now. So you got to be controlled in your emotion, especially when you go into the basket.
Ayton able to get the pin down that time on Gasol.
Got great position that time, and so that put Marc Gasol in panic mode. DeAndre doesn't realize how intimidating he is, and players that guard him aren't going to tell him. So
well, no.
Yeah, so you're going to have to figure that out yourself.
14th foul already on the Lakers. Suns unable to convert as they turn that one over. 14 turnovers now for Phoenix. Lakers have converted those into 15 points. Morris rifles a pass inside to Matthews. Bridges with those long arms forcing the miss.
Yeah, you're not going to get too many shots over Mikal Bridges.
Ayton with inside position, but the pass off the mark as Chris Paul says that one's on me. Suns within 7, led by 13 early.
The way to negate an old guys and make them move. Like if you just allow them to just stand there like a fire hydrant, you're not moving it.
Kuzma trying to back down on Booker. Booker with a few comments over, I'm sure, to LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Corner 3 on the way from Bridges. Knocks it down. Much needed. His first 3-point hit, just 1 of 5.
We'll give Devin, I believe, his 5th foul. Chris Paul's trying to take it. He did. Nice. That's nice from the boy.
That is where another one of the many dividends of a 10-time All-Star, 16-year veteran Chris Paul being on your roster.
I don't think you should be allowed to foul out of a preseason game. I don't understand the gist of that.
Morris fires the deep 3.
I watched him warm up before the game, and he literally knocked down about 12 in a row from that area. So that's an area where he knows he's going to get his shot.
Shot 39% last season. Obviously, his role changed dramatically, but was another one of the pieces after being bought out by Detroit in February. Signed the Lakers just 2 days later.
It surprisingly came back. I mean, obviously on a minimum contract, but came back. But if he and Marcus are still like combining their contracts, then even though he only signed for the minimum, Marcus signed for what, $64 million. So there you go.
Well, it was a free agent pool and free agency period that came and went rather quickly, and for obvious reasons.
Yeah, it did.
And you had a number of guys who tested the waters, but quickly realized that you wait another day or two and the money was going to be gone.
It'd be gone. And then you also had some teams that were hoping that Giannis would not sign his extension.
Right.
And so they made
keep
some
that cap
moves.
space available.
They made some moves that probably, if they had known Giannis was staying, they probably would not have made. So
Suns pulled within 6.
So that really put, some teams in a precarious situation now in regards to their roster, because the free agency pool is not going to be as plentiful as it would have been if Giannis was in it.
Right. So they're working the 2-man game with Gasol. Swings it around, sets up Kuzma for the 3-point look. Lakers just 4-13 from deep. Paul slips a pass inside to DA for the lay-in.
And that's how he beats Gasol. Moving. You don't want to stand next to him. He's easily immovable when you do that. So smart offense. Here it is. He'll find you. Just get to your area, hands up, eyes open, and you'll get an easy one. DeAndre did.
AD and LeBron getting their preseason feet wet, in the words of Frank Vogel tonight, but they are most definitely done. Is about 26 pounds of ice wrapped between ankles, knees. LeBron's got his feet in a little cooler over there.
Best thing to do, without a doubt. I am not saying that, but man, I had the hardest time doing it. I tell you.
The ice.
I once walked in the locker room, and old school now, because they have the They got the, some really nice stuff now where you walk in and you freeze your body, right? I remember walking in Utah Jazz locker room and I saw Karl Malone and John Stockton get into some ice baths.
Right.
Just ice cubes and water. I'm like, man, please. Not happening.
You're not a cold tub guy?
Not doing it.
Have you ever done the cryotherapy?
No.
Oh, come on, EJ.
I would cry.
I'm taking you to cryotherapy then.
Yeah,
because I want to see you cry.
And I'd cry all the way there, too. That's why they call it cryotherapy.
We are going to go to a cryo chamber.
It's just something about, like, I don't have any, my nerves are like at its fullest, like just around my waist. So anything that just, like, when I get in the pool, I got to inch my way into a pool because I can't do it, man.
Oh, see, now that the secret is out, we're going to take the film crew over there while we do it. Booker working on Schroeder. It's inside with a tough pull-up. Matthews working on the block.
He and Devin have always had their battle.
Yes, they have. From his time in Dallas.
Devin's one of the few guys that Wes Matthews can't bully. He's one of the strongest players in the league, but people underestimate how strong Devin is. And look at that good run and good post-up position there. And Chris Paul's going out of his way to really educate DeAndre. And again, 22 years old, you would like to think that he's ready. Just because he's the #1 pick and the size that he has does not mean that he's going to take off right away.
Suns turning up their own defense as we saw the Lakers do in the second quarter. They've tied it up at 60-all. Schroeder gets the backdoor cut. Bridges with the block, but a little body as well. And Schroeder goes down hard. That will put Dennis Schroeder at the line as we take a look at the Suns working the break.
Well, here it is, the loss of the ball, and DeAndre looking up. That's what you do. In basketball, the ball is loose, transition, look ahead. And Mikal almost got to it, but Schroeder extending his off arm to get the contact.
5:01 to go in the third. Timeout on the floor here from downtown Phoenix. Tied 60 apiece here with the Suns and Lakers. 5:01 to go. And EJ, from your playing days, part of being a championship caliber team is communication. And that's exactly what Chris Paul talked about will be paramount here early with his team.
That's the game. It's not just me talking, Book talking, Jay Crowder talking, Coach talking. That's the way you become a team. You don't just get to put it on paper and say it's going to be this, it's going to be that. We got to build. And so communication is the way that you build.
Yeah, and of course that communication ongoing, every practice, in-game communication as the rookie. As I said, his notebook is going to be full. But again, what are the luxuries you have when you've got a 10-time All-Star, 16-year vet? There's no situation that Chris Paul hasn't encountered. But as he has shared with the media, he's like, look, I'm 16 years, but I'm still learning.
Yeah.
I'm always learning.
You're always learning. In this game, things are always jumping up on you. But, fans will always see Chris Paul talking to players on the sideline, and they might tend to think that, he's overbearing on them, right? No, because he balances it off the court. You don't see him then. You don't see him in the locker room. You don't see him when he's hanging out with his teammates. You don't see him when he's calling them up on the phone. So it's a balance to his leadership. We just get to see one part of it.
Well, it's very much like a coach, and it doesn't matter what sport, but, as the old saying goes, you better start being concerned when the coach or teammate isn't talking to you.
Especially when it's the guy that passes you the ball.
Right.
I played with guys that would get into it with the point guard, and it used to just make me laugh when that happened. Yeah, these two guys, though,
Schroeder just trying to get himself out of the game, basically. So, why not? I'll kind of slap a former teammate. It looks like Schroeder's night is done. Is getting the shoes off. When Cook steps onto the floor along with second-year man Talen Horton Tucker.
All these Lakers in ice baths over there. You know, we'll get to see Jared Dudley. Definitely a son's favorite. Ex-son. We used to always make fun of Jared. So Jared is out there with Marc Gasol. Marc Gasol is going to look very athletic.
As Gasol tied up there by Ayton.
I like the experiment too with Jalen Smith out there with DeAndre Ayton.
Right.
I think that's something that Monty is going to look at times this year.
Look, raising up and hitting the three. "21 minutes for Book, 14 points. Horton Tucker for the step back triple.
He's not bashful.
No, he is not. 8 minutes, has 5 points.
One thing we do know, Devin's shooting stroke is on.
He's 16 of 31 to the first 2 games there in Salt Lake City. It's 2 of 8 from deep, but
his rhythm, that's what I mean by shooting stroke.
Right.
His rhythm, it seems like it's mid-season form. The way he's coming off shooting the ball. He's going to have his tough nights, obviously, at times. But he's one of those guys that every time he goes up to shoot, you think it's going in. And that's special. That's not given to you. You earn it.
well, and I think, and you know this, EJ, from your many years playing, and because you were a shooter, a scorer, when you drill so much, you know that even on nights when you're 0 for 6, 0 for 7, you're confident in that stroke that you're talking about. Right. So you know eventually it's going to correct itself.
Exactly. And that's what you try to get young players to understand.
Bridges with another knockdown three. Suns pushing the lead back to 9 now, led by 13 early. Watch the Lakers outscore them 32-19 in the second as they nearly force another turnover. Quick hands of Bridges.
Pushing the basketball, DeAndre putting a lot of pressure on the defense. That means somebody's going to be open on the perimeter. Good to see Mikal knock a few down in this game.
Here's Horton Tucker, the step back 3 attempts. He's a Chicago guy. Bridges looking for another one. Horton Tucker going to Simeon Career Academy. Grew up there on the north side of Chicago. Derrick Rose, Jabari Parker also graduating from the academy.
Well, that's a championship school. A lot of tremendous players out of there.
DA with a turnaround in the face of Montrezl Harrell. Morris feeding it down low to Harrell as he's tied up there by Bridges. Bridges will pick up the foul, and that is going to be number 5 on Mikal.
Good offense this half. The Suns have really executed well, and DeAndre Ayton obviously got some whispers in his ear at halftime. He's come out a little bit more focused, a little bit more aggressive.
10 of his 19 have come here in the third quarter. He's got 9 rebounds.
Got off to the good start early in the game, but got 9 points early. Again, just understanding and learning that he's pretty much unguardable if he catches the ball in the sweet spots. And he's just too long and agile and quick. Anybody to bother him down there. And normally if he catches it where he's comfortable, he shouldn't even worry about the defender anymore. Just turn around and shoot it.
Arrow 1 of 2. Able to pick up the foul on Harrell, chasing down the loose ball.
Kyle Kuzma obviously counted on to score for this team this year. Very consistent, as I noted early. They're trying to force feed him here in the preseason to get him into a rhythm.
Yeah, made just 9 starts last year after starting 105 games in his first 2 years, and a whistle and a travel there on Carter. That is a 16th turnover for the Suns.
And maybe too much too soon, because when Anthony Davis was brought on board, Kyle Kuzma said, okay, we have a big 3. And he will include himself as one of those 3. When you do that, expectations rise up, and he's had a tough time living up to it.
Motley got to swat away to force the turnover. Kuzma with a step back, thumbs up short. Kuzma 14 points tonight on 5 of 11 from the field. Career low last year for Kuzma at just under 13 points per game as Motley steps out on the wing. Harrell going to work on the rookie Jalen Smith, and goes right at him for the lay-in.
Well, he's 6th man of the year. So, I mean, he knows how to score points in a hurry. So, good matchup opportunity for the rookie.
E'Twaun Moore with a catch and shoot 3.
E'Twaun Moore is one of them guys who's quiet for the entire game, and all of a sudden he catches fire. It's a professional basketball player.
Gordon Tucker with a little push shot. Had 33 points, 10 rebounds in the second game of the preseason against the Clippers, and had his teammates, and one in particular, LeBron James, raving about the potential of this young man. It was a second-round pick. Smith leans in on the veteran Dudley to draw the foul, and Jalen Smith will get himself to the line.
You know, man, I'm telling you, he shows me offensive footwork and moves that a 2-guard would exhibit, and I like it, because I think he's going to grow from it. He knows how to get separation. He knows how to draw contact. And he can get himself out of trouble with a dribble, but still conscious of taking advantage with the jumper. I mean, so he's got some skill that is going to be even more enhanced in development here for Jalen Smith. Impressed so far.
Yeah, and one of the upsides, EJ, if there was one for a player like Jalen Smith in his senior year, and Maryland was having a terrific campaign, or junior year, I should say, but when he had all that time off, it allowed him to really focus on taking that next step to the NBA. And he said one area that he worked on extensively was the ball handling. E'Twaun Moore shows the handle, gets inside, but too strong. Good ball movement. Harrell on the spin, finds Kuzma. Nice closeout by Smith. Those are the shots you'll give Montrezl Harrell all day, but it kicks outside to Kuzma, who happily connects on another triple. Timeout on the floor. Suns leading it 86-78. 86-78. Suns leading the Lakers with 8:37 to go here in the fourth quarter. And it's time for the money drive, delivered by First Bank. First Bank, banking for good. Member FDIC. Suns working the defense. And Book sets up the rook for the two-hand slam.
Well, the very good teams make you pay when you turn it over. You got to be ready to reverse, turn, and sprint. But sprint wide and sprint smart. That's what the great teams do.
3 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists for Jalen Smith in his 18 minutes. E'Twaun Moore with the open look. Moore shot 38% from deep last season for New Orleans. Kuzma looking to add another triple, and he will get it. 20 points of the night for Kyle Kuzma, who continues his stellar preseason run here for LA.
When he gets hot, I mean, you see the skill in him and the ability to score.
Motley couldn't quite climb the ladder off the lob for Moore. Suns turn it over. Their 17th of the night. Quick pass sets up Matthews for the corner three. Matthews, another guy that can get it going. Struggled with his shooting last season in Milwaukee, but depending on the rotations, he figures to get some wide open looks this season as Galloway sent hard to the deck by Kuzma. 2-point Suns lead with the Lakers going on a 16-3 run here. 12-0 in the quarter.
If you're a guy trying to make the team, you know, treat this as if it's a regular season game, and you're trying to show the coaches that, you know, you should play a role. That's what Monty is looking at here. You know, who's got the fight here? I don't think he's going to go back to his key guys anymore in this game. It's up to these guys that are fighting for individual minutes in the rotation.
Yeah, because as we talked about at the top of the telecast, it's the deepest Suns team that they have had in quite a while. But just because you're deep doesn't mean that everybody's going to get to play. And to your point, EJ, it's finding out who can and will in moments just like this. Is Horton Tucker able to get right to the rim?
Yeah, and Tucker is reminding me a little bit about a all-time Suns great, and that's Kevin Johnson, and his ability to stay low to the floor and get to the rim. And KJ had those long arms as well.
He's got big hands as Kuzma able to get right to the rim, draws the contact from Galloway, and well, Kuzma continues to feast here in this fourth quarter. Yeah, Horton Tucker, the league's heaviest player and longest player for his height. He's 6'4", and he weighs 234. He's got huge hands.
I mean, he's going 234. He's a tank.
You know, and there were a lot of different reports on him, and some perhaps about a work ethic, maybe a little bit pudgy, a little soft, but clearly the Lakers identified something as a second-round selection.
But again, it all depends on who you wind up with. You remember,
right.
They once said a guy from Louisiana State who went 13th in the draft didn't work hard, and he was lazy. His name is Karl Malone.
Well, and to your point, I think what you have to understand is, you know, you're talking about an 18-year-old at that time.
Yeah.
He just turned 20. There were 41 players in this year's draft who are older than Horton Tucker.
Yeah, it's amazing how people expect these kids to be ready mentally and be mature. It's unfair, but these kids leave school early, so they ask for it. I get that part, but I think we as adults shouldn't drink the Kool-Aid and try to compare them to a guy that's been around for 3 or 4 years. It takes time to develop.
He was actually heavily recruited by your school, Fighting Illini. As Wes Matthews uncorks the three with the shot clock winding down.
Well, in my school right now, top 10 in the country. We went into Duke and slapped them around a little bit last week.
Carter connecting on the corner triple.
Notice I said slapped them around a little bit. All due respect to Mike Krzyzewski. Well, I think he's a tremendous coach.
It was a respectful slap.
Yeah.
15 for Carter as Horton Tucker is able to get in on the shoulder of Motley, and they'll give him the and one.
What Tucker shows is he has a distinct ability to get to the rim. The Suns just trying to hold on. I feel like they like to get a victory here. It makes you feel good to beat the champion, even though LeBron and AD hadn't played much still. I mean, it just, you go in the locker room, you just feel good that you just beat them. And something positive comes out of this game. Have an opportunity to get it done.
Moore with a pull-up. Now you want to kind of christen the renovated arena with the W, as we will get a timeout here on the floor. 97-94, Suns leading the Lakers with 4:51 to go here in the fourth. To the rim, all of a sudden you look up, he's got 16, and it's a 1-point Phoenix lead.
Somebody over there is telling him, don't worry about your misses, just stay aggressive. Because most young players will get bashful. He didn't shoot the ball well early, and he's just continually gone at it.
And I think that somebody is probably LeBron James, because it was LeBron who tweeted out in it eruption against the Clippers, said this young man's going to be special. Of course, it was LeBron who kind of identified Tucker when he was playing there in Chicago in high school at the academy, and he told his counterpart at Clutch Sports, Rich Paul, you might want to give a look to this young fella.
Also, you got Jason Kidd over there as well. So Jason knows a little bit about point guards. And then Lionel Hollins sitting over there. So, you know, it's always good. I remember when I was here in Phoenix and I had Lionel Hollins and Paul Westphal as assistant coaches. And it was so helpful and meaningful to have guys you watch play the game and to give you advice.
Right.
It just seems so much more believable. All due respect to Cotton Simmons, obviously, who was a father figure. I miss him dearly, but Cotton knew. By having those guys over there, it really, I think, helped all of us on that particular team that year in regards to our confidence.
Horton Tucker and Kuzma have helped power the Lakers to a big fourth quarter here, and we've seen them tie it up at 98 all. Motley, nice spin, gets inside of the rim, but left it short.
Yeah, he lost his athleticism. He got too deep and couldn't elevate. Good move, but he's got to learn where he is in regards to the rim and the writing on the floor, right? Once he puts that foot inside that circle, he knows he can't get too much deeper or he's going to go up under the rim.
Horton Tucker's been their go-to guy now with Kuzma on the bench, or nearly got a hand on it. Cook on the drive, kicks it back to the veteran Dudley. Carter up ahead to Galloway. Quick catch and shoot from Galloway. Not enjoying the hot shooting tonight as he did in Salt Lake City. Pass up top for the easy slam. Devontae Cacok hammers it down, and it's a 2-point Laker lead. Smith lets the three fly. Motley on the rebound, put back. Stays with it, but can't cash in on either one of them.
Like his effort, though. I thought he felt he was going to get fouled on the second offensive rebound and kind of rushed it. But you have to love his effort on the glass.
Frank Vogel will get a timeout here with his team leading by 2.
Yeah, Lakers executing well here down the stretch. Suns have 3 minutes to get it together.
Teams have enjoyed double-digit leads throughout the course of the league. Kostas Antetokounmpo on the floor now for LA. And he'll get himself to the free throw line. Lakers 28 free throw attempts. Same story for the Suns.
Lakers really like this young man. I think, you know, some people thought they were holding on to him just because of maybe an opportunity in the future to get Giannis. But I think, you know, he's been in the G League, and I think they kind of like his development. It's been slow, but he seems to be very in tune to being patient with this game. And that's tough when you've got a brother that's getting MVPs and Defensive Player of the Year.
3 years younger than Giannis. Antetokounmpo is now in his 3rd year, originally picked by Philadelphia. Carter left wide open, gets a 3-point look, but can't cash in. Under 2.5 to go here with the Lakers on top by 4, 102-98.
Suns need a stop right here.
Cook works off the screen, and Cook with a knockdown 3. There was one area of their game offensively last year that lacked is Galloway gets the open look and knocks down the straightaway dagger.
Needed that one. Let's get a stop here. Cook and Horton. Tucker has been the guys that he's been going to here of late. Let's get the ball out of their hands, make someone else take a shot.
Cook looking at another one. Lakers were 21st in the league in 3-point shooting a year ago. Carter walking into the 3, won't get it. Moore had a hand on it, but unable to secure.
He'd like to get that chance again. You got to believe this young man's trying to score. So if you're Smith, you got to be ready to really help out here.
He's got 11 in the quarter. Slips a pass, and great cut by Kaycock. Gets right to the rim. 6-point lead. L.A. Smith. Boy, he'll look at that one again, and you can tell he's upset. Just enough of a hesitation that allowed Antetokounmpo to get a piece of the ball instead of a 3-point play opportunity. He'll be at the line to shoot 2.
Jalen Smith to the Suns free throw line, shoot 2.
James Jones did a really good job of not giving in to the pressure of who you should draft. And Jalen Smith is another guy, right, that people question and why. But just this short period, just seeing him, you just see development all over this young man. The size and the length, his attitude, and how he communicates a little bit beyond his years.
Swinging around, Dudley with a 3-point look, and Dudley able to knock down the triple, and a 3-point shot as LeBron James celebrating, running up and down the sideline on the far side. They gave Carter the 3, passes it up. This is DeMotley, who was able to get inside. Antetokounmpo with the goaltend.
You know, Jared is a bench favorite over there. Anytime he does something, the Laker bench celebrates like it's a parade.
Dudley in his 14th season. We'll get a timeout here with 34.4 remaining. We'll keep it right here. Lakers leading it by 5, 110-105.
Yeah, situational timeout. Again, this is all education. Again, this is preseason. I don't want to remind Suns fans, calm down. Okay, this is teaching moments. But Monty's going to work on out-of-bounds plays, see if he can get some execution here. Maybe try an out-of-bounds play that he's thinking about incorporating into his playbook. These are like clinic moments for your team in these situations. Vogel on the other end, probably trying to guess what they're going to run and try to create some type of defense to deal with it.
Become a Suns PayPal 6-man season ticket member today to receive priority access to the 2020-21 single game tickets when they become available, and other member exclusive benefits and experiences. 14-month payment plans are available starting at just $30 down. Visit suns.com/tickets for information and to secure your membership. You see Book, 25 minutes tonight, 16 points, had 7 assists. He and Paul combining for 15 of the Suns' 26. Tucker finds himself double teamed.
You don't want to foul here. You let the clock run down, so let them force a shot.
Cook on the drive. Smith with the hammer block. sets up a fast break opportunity here with the Suns. The rookie stepping into the triple. To Carter.
He kind of pulled a string on that, but
Molly will get the putback, but there'll be 1.8 left on the clock as we'll walk to the other end of the floor for free throws.
look at Sticks in there. Went straight up vertical. And that's what you're supposed to do. So, again, the young man really paying attention. Mark Bryant, who handles the big man. You can teach that. You want to stay vertical. He is long. He's a very good shot blocker in college, so you know it's going to transfer over to the NBA.
Yeah, 60 blocks. Only player in the country to block 60 shots and knock down 30 three-pointers. As Monty Williams is going to call another timeout, another one of those situational coaching moments with his team 111-107. Well, we've got a moment just to big time thanks to all of our crew and everyone who has worked so hard and diligently trying to get us set up under the new COVID protocol rules. Major kudos to Dan Siekman, all the countless hours he has put in, along with the rest of our group. Bob Adlock, David Hughes, Peyton Wiggness, Ryan Papaloukas. I mean, so many of these guys have worked a ton of hours.
They really have.
Coordinating and being extremely adaptable and putting us in a position to bring you the best possible telecast and be safe at the same time. So
then you and I show up and just sit here on our perch
and talk.
I mean, you got food everywhere, and you got your energy juices. I got my little snacks everywhere. I mean, you know, we just living the life. They did all the hard work.
Trying to run a quick inbound, sets up Smith, who lets the three-pointer fly at the horn. And that is the way this one will come to an end, with the Lakers prevailing. The final score 112-107.